Well, we were talking about illegal immigration. Obviously, Donald Trump is taking all chances that he can to hammer Joe Biden over this executive order, and not just this executive order, but the open borders policy that Joe Biden has had throughout his entire presidency. So, he talks about mass deportations. He talks about all of that. But I want to talk about something else that he is promising to do. He says on day one, which is take immediate action to punish schools that teach critical race theory and push transgender insanity in schools. Here is some of that clip from a rally watch.
On day one, I will sign a new executive order to cut federal funding of any school pushing critical race theory, transgender insanity, and other inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content onto the lives of our children.
I mean, I would personally love that. Day one.
It's a good idea.
It's a great idea.
But I hope he's learned from the first administration, because an executive order is basically a fancy press release with a bunch of glitter on it. It doesn't actually, you don't just make a proclamation and it happens. You have to really see these things through. And the president made a couple of these mistakes in his first term, where he would say things like, we're banning no more trans in the military. Well, guess what? That's not actually an order. That's a tweet. And Secretary Mattis just ignored it. And then he moved on with his life. And now he's going to come back. And it's probably now been 8 years at this point of transgender in the military. You're not really going to be able to get rid of it that easily. It's going to be tied up in lawsuits. And by year 4, maybe another Republican comes in after that. So if he wants to do this, I think the way he's going to have to do it is the way that Bill Barr was starting to toy with getting rid of some of the problems going on in workplaces near the end, before Trump ended up losing re-election, which was saying report incidents of bias, racial bias, and starting to punish bias against white people, bias against men, bias against straight people. Start doing things that try to get the DOJ to support parental rights. So those people, charge the state of California with kidnapping.
Right.
You can't take children from their parents.
Right.
Those are the sorts of legal remedies, but it takes hardball. It's not going to be an executive order. It's not simply going to be a tweet. It's got to be directing your attorney general to pursue these cases, your Department of Education to pursue this. And ideally, it'd be great to see it in the states where they say, why is the state of Texas funding public schools at all that allow for this stuff to happen? And it is. But from the federal level, because of all the lawsuits and everything, it's going to take some hard people making some hard decisions. And I hope they all buy the insurance, because they're going to get sued in a personal capacity. And the ACLU and everyone else is going to try and ruin their lives. So I'm all for it. I want to see an end to it, but it's just hardball.
What if he does both at the same time? Like, what if he signs the executive order, but then also follows through with all of those other
That would be
measures?
excellent. Okay. You need to see the follow through, and they're going to come at you. And often these things, they'll be tied up for years, because unfortunately in the United States now, we're basically governed by judges.
Right. A lot of them activist judges.
Exactly.
Which is terrifying. And to Chris's point, Matt, it is frustrating because, I hit the current president, or I like to just call him the man who lives at the White House. But I hit him all the time on executive orders, which is, I think he's completely abused his power with these executive orders because he's just bypassing Congress. But at a certain point, you have to say, okay, this is a game of chicken, because Congress is not going to do anything. Congress doesn't want to make any hard decisions, it seems like, anymore. They're just perfectly fine sitting on the sidelines and letting someone just dictate and make the hard decisions so that they don't have to. So it's like, well, at what point do you have to go like, okay, you guys are not doing it, I've got to do it. And, I agree with you that executive orders, particularly with this regime, has been horrendous and a total abuse of power, and also can be completely undone by the next president, which makes it so dangerous to rule by that. But it also is like, well, Congress isn't going to do their damn job. I don't trust any of them.
No, we all know that the Congress doesn't do anything at all. They're so weak.
Well, as Chris said,
Republicans are pathetic.
As Chris said, they campaign like they're gonna do a bunch of stuff, and then they get in, and then they just do nothing.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous.
Raise money.
They're pretty good at raising money. You're right.
Really good for making money for themselves.
Well, hold on. We're forgetting that they do clip out videos of themselves during hearings, and they post it online and get lots of likes and views.
donations, and then they pop onto different shows and they talk about, we're going to investigate this.
Yeah.
Who cares? The Democrats are putting people in prison.
Right. And by the way, they're like, well, we're going to have a discussion about whether or not we are going to investigate it. And boy, if we do, you're going to be really scared. Meanwhile, Donald Trump's probably like going to be on house arrest.
Well, but this is the point, I think, that we have to remember. For him, this is very, very different. Mm-hmm. He has been harassed, harangued. He's had all this attack, these relentless attacks on him. The Trump that gets in this time is going to be very, very different to the Trump that got in last time. And we need that because, look,
you would have to believe.
No, I mean he's going to lose everything. Like, they are not going to stop. They're going to go after his family. Even if he gets in, they're going to go after his family. So he knows that he has to dismantle it all. And good. It's almost like that has been served up. Like the Democrats have done the worst thing possible. Is they've pissed off somebody who's an absolute killer businessman, and he's not going to make the same mistake twice. I really, really believe that. So here's the option we have. He doesn't get in, and the Democrats get in, and the country's over. I genuinely believe that. I think they're going to just destroy it beyond recognition. It's almost there now, right? Or Trump gets in, and the riots start on his first day, or even the day after, on November the 5th. They're going to start, November the 5th, November the 6th, they're going to start rioting. It's going to happen. So buckle up. I believe it's going to be bad either. It's going to be, I did it. I did a bit of a
you did it.
It's going to be bad. It's going to be beautiful. It's probably going to be the most beautiful. I don't know.
It's the biggest riot.
It's the biggest riot. It's going to be big. It's probably a beautiful, big riot.
Huge crowds.
Huge crowds. Huge.
You've never
Look
seen
at Joe.
crowds.
Never seen the beautiful crowds. Beautiful. But I think that he's going to take a wrecking ball to it, and it's going to be chaotic. It's going to be chaotic. If they get in, I'd rather it be chaotic when our guy gets in and he actually dismantles it. Mm-hmm. So, I think that the Congress is going to be motivated into acting, because I think he is going to start doing stuff, and I do think he's going to go after the FBI, and I do think he's going to go after all the.
Yeah, he won't fall for that again.
Oh no,
there's no chance.
No.
And
by the generals.
By the way, when they were like, when he's talking about giving him a beautiful building, I keep telling people, do you not know that this guy wrote The Art of the Deal? Like, this is what he does all the time. He
also has verbal diarrhea.
Little Rocket Man. Yeah, but
I mean, I love him.
He does, but
talks.
He does, but also it's negotiating. He
Right.
goes here and gets what he wants here. It's great negotiation. I'm surprised by people who get shocked by him. Like, again, I don't get shocked when he has verbal diarrhea.
Right.
I don't get shocked
Right.
when he makes a great deal.
Right. Well, I'm just looking at policy. Right? Like, I don't care what he tweets about. I don't care what he says in passing as like a one-off. I just care about what is the policy here. If you like this clip and you want to see the full episode, click here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, come on, you know you do. Click here.